Welcome back to English Bob's Car Detailing. In this week, a Renault Megane Scenic 2009 in for a pre-sale detail. Customer wants to sell the vehicle. He's had it in his garage for a year, not driven. Says he hasn't washed it for a year, but I think it's more like 5 years, as you'll see. Yeah, it's in for a paint enhancement just to brighten up the paint a little bit, bring some gloss back, and a full interior with some deep cleaning and just a general tidy up as well. So please like, subscribe and comment, and hope you enjoy it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Renault Megane Scenic. Customer tells me it's not been washed in 1 year. I have to ask which year that was, because it wasn't last year. This is in a terrible state. Have I bit off more than I can chew? Well, let's have a look outside. Just generally dirty. Lots of unintended cracks and crevices. Need a good brushing out during the cleaning process. Generally the paint's just not been looked after. You can see a lot of bird dropping, etchings, bugs. Lots of chips, stone chips, scratches on the bumper. Headlights need a good polish. Just general dirt, a bit of damage there. Some general mould. Yeah, here's a closer look at the damage. It's amazing what you can do to improve that. Wheels and tyres, yeah, these are just caps, but they still look terrible. Wonder what they'll come up like. Lots of scratches there. We'll find out how deep those are. Scratch, scratch. Moving around to the back. Ooh, what's that there? I don't really want to open this boot. Not going to know what's going to fall out of there. Mould around the tops of the windows. Let's have a look inside. Generally dusty and grimy. Door jambs need a good clean. A very good clean. And the inside is looks like that's impossible carpet underneath that mat. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare. This is a smoker's car, so I can already see the dust from cigarette ash everywhere. Customers asked for to try and remove the smell, so we'll have to give it an ozone treatment tonight. So I've got my work cut out here. The seats don't look in terrible condition, only they're just dusty. First job was to blow all this surface dirt away. And I opened the boot and, okay, there wasn't anything worse than just what you saw from the outside. But when I checked that boot carpet, it's got white cat hairs, looks like a cat, but definitely white hairs that are going to be terrible to get out of that carpet. That's going to be lots of brushing and work with the tweezers. But up here, this is generally gets dirty up there, so it needs a good wash. This can all be improved. Yeah, I don't know why I keep taking shots of that. Anyway, let's make a start. So here we go, first job. Blow out with the air compressor, with the air gun. I can already see that it's going to be really dusty. I just did the electric window switches and the whole air is polluted. Let's see how it goes. When I touch that seat with the air compressor, then things get much worse. Here we go. Ooh, that's enough. Time for the face mask. Ooh. Okay. Donned on the PPE, and off we go again. Normally I start with this, it's just a good way to get the worst of the stuff out of the car before I bring it into the workshop, and then all the dust and dirt's going everywhere in the workshop. So I generally do it just before I'm going to wash the car. Doesn't take too long, this. It's quite a hot day, but already I've been around some of the areas with the with some APC and a brush. If you start foaming already, it's sometimes difficult to see where the really dirty areas are. So it's good to sniper those, as Ammo NYC would say. So you can see them at least before you, otherwise you can miss them quite easily. But in this case, I just had to attack that thing, what was on the back of the car. It was driving me mad just looking at it. I'm not even going to try and imagine what it was. Just get rid of it. So foaming here with the IK foamer. Nice piece of equipment. And a brush down. You can see in the background there, that's the touch-up paint. And I think that box and the touch-up paint is in a very similar state to the car. So it can need, that box and the two little touch-up paint containers, they really need a detail in themselves. But I think I'm not going to touch that. Taking care not to get the interior of the car too wet. top part, of course, you can rinse down from behind. So onto the wheels. Now when there's a car wash turning into a detail, well, if we look at the wheels here, you'll see that this is the first time I'm washing the tyres. I think I do it 3 or 4 times until we see that brown primeval fluid disappear and turn nice and white. I think on the 4th wash it goes like that. This is Maguire's wheel brightener. It's a great mild acid based cleaner. Really good for cleaning wheels. Been using it for a long time now and never had any issues with it. Just don't let it dry on in the sun. So we're on times 3 at the moment. I don't normally work that hard, that fast. Okay, foamer again. Just rinse out the insides of the wheel arches. Clean off the tyre. This is the second application of multi-X I'm using there for the tyre, and another scrub, still brown. Starting to look better. So 3rd wash. Yeah, we're pretty almost there now. Any brown you see is coming from the brush. Still a bit more contamination on the wheel, so another go with the wheel brightener and the brush. Rinse down. Last clean, just to rinse down, try and get rid of any excess wheel brightener that might still be around, and cleaning the wheel arches. And now just a rinse down. Nice. Do that 4 times. 1 for each wheel, of course, and the wheels are done. So going around the car with the APC and a brush, starting with the fuel filler. Can be overlooked this, but it's a nice touch to get this clean. I think I mentioned before, I like to do this before the washing and before the foaming, especially on a very dirty car, because you can see where the dirt is and where you need to focus. When it's got the foam on, it's not so easy to see where the intense dirt is. So I brush around with the APC. It's CarPro Multi-X with 15:1 ratio with water. That's good. Give it a rinse off. Nice and clean. Now, because the vehicle's so dirty, I'm going to go around the whole car with an APC. This is again this Multi-X 15:1 from CarPro. This gives a good chance for the the embedded grime in the paint, really, to try and loosen it up a bit before we start the wash process. So the lovely foaming starts. in the foam can is, I've forgotten, I'll put it in the description. Not sure this car really needed a foam wash, but it's good fun. The APC does a really good job of releasing the dirt. Ready for the physical wash. It's getting evening now, so it's cooling down a little bit, so the foam is not going to dry off too quick. Just brushing out those edges. I've already done the details of a separate APC before the foaming, so this is just getting a last brush out. Rinsing off the foam. Just keep an eye when you're rinsing, because some of the foams leave a little bit of a film behind, and it needs a bit of a double rinse to get rid of it, which is good, because I think that's the part that holds the dirt. Shadows are starting to lengthen, so it's a little bit safer now, not working in such hot sunlight. And now the contact wash. You get the idea, and the rinser. Now to the inside of the car. We're starting here with the back seat and a few sprays of Carpro inside, 2:1 ratio, and now the infamous drill brush with a very gentle brush on it. Really great time-saving tool. Make sure to get in all the edges, in the creases. And then all it needs then is just a wipe over with a microfiber cloth. Picks up the dirt and helps dry it off. Same again for the rear passenger floor. It's already been soaked with Carpro inside, the drill brush, and a mop up with the microfiber. And now for some good fun. I like doing the door panels. So again, Carpro inside, we're speeded up now to 3 times 300% zoom. And this is a Carpro inside glove. It's a great tool. This door hasn't got really particularly intricate areas, so it doesn't really need a brush. It can be scrubbed. I believe this is called the inner scrub in Carpro. can just rinse it, put your hand in a warm bucket of water, what I use, and rinse it out every now and again. For the steam. Try and destroy all that bacteria that the ozone treatment missed. Steam's always a good bet to do that. Gets in all the nooks and crannies, activates the cleaning compounds. Freshens everything up. And I'll wipe down with a microfiber, dry it off. You have to make sure you don't leave anything dripping from the car product inside, because it can stain the plastic. So always make sure it's wiped up well and not running down the side of the door. Very nice. Unclean door panel. But wait, what's in the little cubby hole? Oh. Still hot in there. So now have a look at the paintwork. You can see there's lots of swirls, lots of oxidisation. Not really been cared for at all. So the idea here is to give a one-step paint enhancement, and basically this is a yellow Roops polishing pad with a one-step polish. This is HD speed, and it gives a mild polish and sets in a sealant at the same time. This will take out about 50% of the scratches and really brighten up the paintwork and take off the oxidisation. This is now going at 3 times speed. That's it. The car's done in, this panel's takes 3 goes, but the whole car needs to be done, of course. It takes a bit of time. So here we are at the end of a 10-hour detail. Amazing looks after the enhancement polish. It's not got rid of all the scratches and watermarks, etc., but it certainly brought the brightness back from the paint. The headlights have had a good polish as well, with some protection on, some sealant. And as you can see, the resale value of this car has grown enormously now. It looks like a well cared for car. Inside it's had a good clean shampoo, and it's had an ozone treatment which will hopefully keep the smoke smell away, which the car was terrible for previously. And inside there you can see it's lovely and clean. Looks like a well-maintained car and very desirable for a future purchaser. Inside that centre console there was a melted sticky sweet, which took a while to get out, but with a bit of steam, a little bit of steam done the job. Still a bit of damage where it's not been so well cared for, this car, but everywhere it looks nice and clean anyway.